Good afternoon, everyone. Sarah here at Three Little Potters, and I am ready to get making some Halloween pottery. I have 10 cute, fun ideas for you to make this fall season. So we're going to go through all 10 of them pretty rapidly. These are going to be really quick tutorials, bare bones, with the finished product at the end of each little mini tutorial. And then if you want more information, there'll be longer tutorials later this week. But this is just sort of the jump start to get your creative ideas flowing.
For my ceramic ghosts, I don't generally use a template because I like them to be all a little bit different. So the shape that I am doing is basically a Pac-Man, making mostly a circle, and then I'm cutting a triangle section out of that circle. So this part I'm not going to use. So where you're making your join is a little bit weak, so the head that I'm making is more here than there. Go ahead and make where the head of the ghost would be. Kind of thinking of these edges as sort of the folds of the fabric over the ghost. So all the edges need to be smoothed down so that you don't have any
So I'm just going to, and I don't want the wax to be deep because I don't want it to come up over the edge of the ghost at all.
So I'm just pinching the ghost right at the top and dipping him in. Give it a good shake. All ready for the clear top coat over the faces. All right, here I'm going to make some witches' hats, ring holders. Here with Coyote's amethyst. And then I'm going to put just some black detail around the edges. Say hi. You would like to say hi? A little bit of black on the tip. All right, let's make some little Halloween cats.
All right, since these little kitty... Since I like to ramble so much while I'm working, and these are just short clips, I'm going to go ahead and narrate some of this for you. So I've thrown this pumpkinish shape, and I'm just closing up the top. And once you've closed up the top, you're kind of creating this air bubble in the middle, and that keeps it from collapsing in on itself. I'm sort of holding my hands on opposite sides to make mirror lines. Here I'm using the Spectrum New Glazes, papaya being the best one. I was using papaya a lot as the under coat to kind of give it some real depth and dimension.
I'm gonna go with sunrise.
The lighter colored ones in the picture are fuzzy peach. These are potion bottles. I find B-Mix a hard clay to color in a great deal, so if I'm doing a very wide base, you'll see me knocking it off center a little bit, trying to get that last little bit colored in. So I will often go in with the needle tool and even up that top part when I'm almost there. And the hardest thing about the potion bottles is really getting the stopper to fit. So the stopper needs to have a 3/4 inch opening and it needs to be tapered. So you'll see me using a shrink ruler, a 12% shrink ruler for the B-Mix, Laguna B-Mix clay that I'm using.
Midnight on the bottom. Midnight on the bottom.
Midnight, again, is a glaze that I've mixed myself. That's Randy's purple going on the sides. That's light flux going over shipwreck right there. The finished products.
So here I've just cut a random base shape. Definitely looking for something more organic. So for this side, I'm going to plan on that curve, so we'll need a little extra there. This is our wood grain mat.
Will have good adhesion. It's obviously easier to build square. This is me rambling some more. So for this tutorial, I have about
scoring some of these edges.
60 minutes of footage. So this is a very brief primer on making these haunted houses. So when possible, I'll reach through a door or window to try to help score that roof onto the building to kind of attach it. If I don't have a great way to attach it, sometimes I'll use other decorative elements like this vine on the side.
You can see I'm letting the iron wash really run into that wood grain. I kind of like pretty quickly, so it doesn't necessarily have to sit before you wipe it.
I'll link the wood grain rolling mat below. I really liked using that.
Again, I'm going pretty thick with this. I'm expecting sort of an overgrowth of crystals, and I like the color that microjade does when it sort of overgrows. So. For this greenware cup, I'm going to just put some. Ooh. That dripped everywhere. That was a little bit wetter than I thought it would.
Before I bisqued it, I'm hoping that I would get a smoother surface and that the tape would stick to it. So past attempts at this method, the tape has not pulled cleanly off. Because I think I want to get my vertical stripes out of the way before I move on. Okay, so I think I'm going to pick a central point and radiate from there. All right, in it goes. Is there one there? Nope. It's just me messing it up. There is one here, though. Oh, tedious, tedious. think I'll just leave it right there. Think, should the eyes be bigger? Does this eye look too small? So these needed a lot of sort of sponging and cleaning up before they went into the bisque kiln.
And then I'm going to take a needle bit. Needs a little bit.
Over top of tiger's eye to see if that yellow base will give this a little bit more of an orange palette. And then I'm going to take a needle. Glaze repair. Let's hope this was papaya. So for my spooky luminary, first I'm going to try to take Amicose seaweed, sort of get it in some of these leaf patches. I think I'm going to dip the whole thing in midnight. A full dip in midnight. If the glaze is
So for the skirt in the start of the shape, I'm looking to make something like a cone. It's very soft, so you don't really need to score and slip. It hasn't had time to firm up anywhere yet, so I'm looking at building up this shoulder area a little bit here so that under the hair it doesn't look quite so weird. Thinking witch's hat should have a little bit of a bend to it so that it doesn't look too princessy. Why can't I?
So again, I'm letting the iron wash sink into every little crevice of the hair because those white spots. See what we're revealing here? Looks pretty cool.
I really wish I had gone darker with that iron wash though. I needed a more concentrated formula. My dove gray has been a little bit thin. Area for the glaze to pool before it runs onto my. You're getting a bonus because apparently I can't count to 10 very well. No, I probably thought that spooky luminary was going to fail entirely, but it did look kind of cool in the end, so I left it in.
So right here we're trimming this while it's still fairly wet so that we're able to attach the feet without there being a problem. You can get these little spinner discs that have markings at the different points. So for this cauldron mug, I'm going to be doing 3 feet. So I'm going with the blue marks here, right here, and right here. So let's flip it over. I'm just going to set this a little to the side of where we actually want it. See if we 6 clay is very forgiving as far as attaching things. But this is okay. So once it's kind of, you get it kind of where you want it, you're going to be kind of like making sure it seems like it's here. Let's do a little loop handle.
Don't worry if you can't hear this section. It's just me rambling on about how much time it's taking me to build this mug and how I'm not going to be able to make enough money off the sale of the mug to make it worth doing. But that's okay. Thanks for watching, everybody. This has been fun.
Because they often want it, but they don't want to pay the price that